Now at 6, not an alien invasion, but a Jeep invasion in Baxter Springs. Plus, the Wildcat Glades is hosting some more art fun before the summer closes out. And the latest on the Russian-Ukraine war.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us. This is your KOAM News at 6. I'm Jalen Banks. Starting off, Sam Lane is going to give us a first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Jalen. We've had some thunderstorms develop across our area today. Nothing severe at this point, but we've been watching the atmosphere this afternoon as some of the storms could get along a little bit on the storms developing right along that boundary. Let's take a closer in view. You see a pretty strong storm near Greenfield right now, extending to just to the east of Carthage, and also some storms back into southeastern Kansas. And of course, the big question is, are we going to have more rain on the way? I'll have the answer coming up in just a few short minutes.
The first annual Jeep Invasion is taking place today in Baxter Springs. The event, of course, will show off the vehicles, but the main focus is to help raise awareness and money for Mission 22, an organization that provides support to the veterans and their families in various ways.
So our goals, this is the first year we did it. We only had like 2 months to plan. We've already got a weekend scheduled next year. This will start being a yearly event here in Baxter Springs. We are going to do it August 18th and 19th next year. It'll be a 2-day event. And just the whole goal is just to get people in the town and get a lot going on for our community.
To find more on this story, you can go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. As kids return back to school, Wildcat Glades and Friends hosted a family craft event. The event consists of a wood painting, art making, and animal watching. A volunteer says events like this help children get some times away from the screens.
We're just simply painting sticks. It's getting the kids out of the house, and the kids are playing outside while the paint's drying. So yeah, it's just really a fun way to get kids off the TV and messing around with nature, seeing that you can do something creative with nature.
Rachel also believes kids need to engage more with brain-stimulating activities. The Art Forms Gallery in Pittsburgh today is attempting to, get some more summer fun with some arts and crafts. The event today had painting and water blowing and things of that nature, and to find more events like this one, you can go to our website at koamnewsnow.com.
This is a blown flower technique with fluid art. Fluid art has hundreds of techniques, and I teach all different techniques in the classes when I do a class. Today we happen to be doing blown art, and you use a straw and you manipulate the paint to look like a flower.
For more events going on in the 4 states, you can just go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. The cost of raising a child through high school, as you guessed it, has gone up thanks to inflation. For a married middle income couple, it now takes on an average of $310,000 to $605 to raise a child born in 2015 through the age of 17. That comes out to more than $18,000 a year on average. The Brookings Institution came up with the estimate based on numbers from the U.S. Agricultural Department for a couple with 2 children. The price tag includes a range of child expenses, including food, health care, clothing, child care, and activities. Back in 2015, a federal government projection put up the total child raising costs at more than $233,000. A senior fellow at the Brookings suggests many couples will take more time to consider whether to have a first or second child. The Securities and Exchange Commission is gearing up to fine many of Wall Street's biggest banks a total of $1 billion. The bank's employees are accused of using WhatsApp and other messaging devices in violation of SEC rules. The SEC is targeting Bank of America, Barclays, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Deutsche Bank, and among others. Regulators also worry that sending financial secrets over personal devices raises the risk of hackers and breaking in. The fines are expected to be levied by September 30th. Over 650,000 tons of grain and food have come out of Ukraine and are on their way to world markets. That is according to the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Saturday. Guterres is in Istanbul, where he met with Turkish officials and oversaw the World Food Program ship heading to Ukraine, which he says will be the largest cargo ship out of Ukraine since the war started.
This ship is going to load in Chornomorsk more than 50,000 tons of grain, to be the largest cargo ever coming out of Ukraine after the war has started.
The war has been going on since February. The war in Ukraine once again is drawing international concern, now over shelling around a nuclear plant that will also provide Ukraine with more military assistance as the war nears its 6th month. CBS's Wendy Gillette has the latest details from New York.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has agreed to terms for a team of independent inspectors to visit a nuclear plant in southern Ukraine that's come under shelling. The development follows a call between Putin and French President Emmanuel Macron. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a video released last night the team from the International Atomic Energy Agency could reestablish security at Europe's largest nuclear plant that's now controlled by Russia, calling Russian shelling near the facility radiation blackmail. Russia blames Ukraine for the attacks. Putin told Macron they raised the threat of a large-scale catastrophe. The UN Secretary General wants a demilitarized zone established around the plant.
If we demilitarize, as we propose, the plant, the problem will be solved.
As the conflict drags into its 179th day, the U.S. will provide Ukraine with $800 million in additional military equipment, including drones and mine-resistant vehicles. In Kharkiv, a 53-year-old woman was found dead after Russian forces shelled 2 universities early yesterday. At least 5 people were killed in the Donetsk region. Civilians keep fleeing the violence in eastern Ukraine. The UN Refugee Agency says more than 10.5 million have left the country since the war started in February. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
The independent team will likely not visit the nuclear plant until early next month. We now take time to honor one of our 4-state heroes. Sergeant Henry Trotnick, a West Mineral, Kansas native, served in the Army from 1943 till 1946. He was a flight engineer and earned the Good Conduct Medal, among others. To Sergeant Henry Trotnick, we thank you, our 4-state hero. And coming up, the latest on this week's top health stories, and another look on the ongoing story of the Trump estate raid. Early access to hearing aids and new steps to the fight against monkeypox. Michael George has a look at some of this week's top health stories.
Federal health officials are boosting supply of the monkeypox vaccine. The CDC now reports more than 13,500 confirmed cases nationwide, with New York and California topping the list of states with the most cases. The FDA is establishing a new category of over-the-counter hearing aids. The devices will be available for purchase without a medical exam or a prescription. They could be in stores by mid-October. And art not only imitates life, it improves it for seniors stuck at home. Canadian researchers teamed up with the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts and found that seniors participating in weekly virtual museum tours showed significant improvement in social isolation, well-being, quality of life, and frailty assessments. That's a look at some of the week's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News.
According to the CDC, there are 3 confirmed monkeypox cases in Kansas, 17 in Oklahoma, 21 in Arkansas, and 25 in Missouri. A U.S. magistrate judge in Florida has given the Justice Department until Thursday to file a redacted version of the affidavit it used to get approval to conduct the search. CBS correspondent Natalie Brand has more details from Washington.
CBS News has learned former President Trump's legal team is considering filing a motion to seek the appointment of an independent official to review evidence collected in the FBI's search of his Florida home. An individual close to the former president tells CBS that he and his lawyers want federal prosecutors to make sure a neutral person is involved in reviewing the documents, and they want a more detailed list of what was removed. Trump's legal team wants this independent person, known as a special master, appointed to examine the documents to determine if they fall under executive or attorney-client privilege.
One of the benefits of a special master, if the master agrees with us, is we can stop DOJ in their tracks when it comes to inspecting these documents.
But legal analysts say the Justice Department would likely contest such a motion, saying the documents are evidence. During the FBI search nearly 2 weeks ago, 11 sets of classified documents were seized, including some marked top secret. Attorney David Weinstein served in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida.
We're led to believe that these are dealing with national security interest, whether it's secrets, whether it's nuclear secrets, whatever it may be, and that these documents need to be in a safe and secure location.
Meanwhile, a federal magistrate judge in Florida has indicated he could potentially unseal parts of the affidavit behind the search, following requests from more than a dozen media organizations, including CBS News. Judge Bruce Reinhart, who also signed off on the search warrant, has given the Justice Department until Thursday to submit proposed redactions to the affidavit before he makes a decision. Natalie Brind, CBS News, Washington.
Lawmakers are calling on social media companies to address the unprecedented rise in violent threats against federal law enforcement since the search at Mar-a-Lago. Riverton wraps up their first week of practice. Danny Terzer has more in sports.
And radar starting to light up a little bit. We'll show you where it's raining and where we expect more in your forecast coming right up. Well, friends, it was another warm one across the four-state area with temperatures reaching into the 90s in many locations. However, there is a cold front in the area, and as a result, we have thunderstorms developing, and I'll show you that on radar in just a moment. But first, let's go down to Seneca and show you what's going on at the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Not a whole lot, just lots of sunshine, a few thin cirrus clouds, and also some cumulus clouds out there, but not a bad evening. They're going to start to see the showers and storms moving down towards that area later on tonight. But for right now, the storms are stretching from near Greenfield, northwest of Springfield, off to the west, north and west of Mount Vernon, right through the Carthage area, even just south and east of Pittsburgh, near the station here. In fact, we have a storm developing there, and also extending further back towards the west near Independence. And all this is developing along a front that is slowly sagging through our area. Not everybody's going to get rainfall, unfortunately, but some lucky folks will start to pick up just a little bit of rain. Temperatures right now are in the upper 80s to right around 90 degrees, including Joplin right now with 91, 93 in Independence, and 88 for our friends down in Grove. Dew points are in the 60s across the area, even a few 70s showing up like at Lamar. We're at 73, 63 in Neosho, 62 in Commerce. And when you factor in the dew point, it kind of feels a little bit sticky out there across the area, but those higher dew points is helping add the potential for some thunderstorms in our area. If you're sneezing and hacking, it's probably because of the pollen. Today it's 8.7 out of 10, tomorrow about the same. Most of that is ragweed. Taking a look at our tower cam at 7th and Rangeline, look at the thunderstorms developing right now in the Joplin metro. You can see the cloud bases here with the cumulonimbus starting to develop across the area. Hopefully we'll get some rain out of that. But right now it's sitting at 91, feels like 93, dew point is 65, and the pressure is currently falling at the current hour. Let's take a look at the future track. You can see that front, as I mentioned earlier, is now draped across our area, and as a result, by tonight, we'll see temperatures in the mid-70s with scattered showers and storms still around. And then as we go through the evening hours, that front drops to the south and lows pretty much in the 60s across our area. And then tomorrow, we'll start to see partly cloudy skies and cooler temperatures, northerly winds, the front down to the south. They're going to get quite a bit of rain across Texas and Oklahoma, and they desperately need it, just like us, a high of around 86. And then as we go into Sunday morning, we'll start to see the front still to the south and lows pretty much comfortable, 62 in Garnett, 63 in Lamar, and 64 here in Joplin. Then as we go through Monday afternoon, we're going to see temperatures in the mid-80s across the area. So a pretty nice day shaping up for Monday. And then as we go into Tuesday, lows in the mid-60s across the area and pretty comfortable as well. Rainfall amounts, not a whole lot. Best chance of rain will be down to the south in Oklahoma, but we'll have to keep our fingers crossed and see some folks pick up a little bit on the rainfall over the next 24 to 36 hours. Here's your 7-day forecast: 88 on Monday, 90 on Tuesday, and we keep temperatures in the 90s through the rest of the week, with a slight chance of storms Thursday, mainly to the north, and then again on Saturday. But at least we're not seeing 100 degrees, that's for sure.
Absolutely not. I actually rode around today with my windows down for the
There you
first
go.
time pretty much all summer.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you, Sam. Kansas high schools wrapped up their first week of practice.
Yeah, we're making the rounds, hitting up different practices each day. We've got Southeast and Fort Scott today, plus the Riverton Rams are coming off their best season in 13 years. Hear from the team next. Riverton wrapped up its first week of practice, and the Rams are coming off a great season in 2021. They went 8-3, won the regional championship, and made it to the state quarterfinals. The Rams are entering their first season under head coach Danny Weaver, and Weaver says the skill players will be a big strength this year. There's a few in new positions. Overall, the Rams have some depth and will use it to their advantage on Friday nights.
Our number ones and number twos are real close in athletic ability, so we don't have a big drop off from a 1 to a 2. So we're looking at getting as many athletes on the field as possible, especially at the 2A level. Walker Terry was our quarterback last year in a pretty run heavy set that we used to do. Walker can run, so we're going to put him out wide, and we're going to move Ryder Goodman, who will be a junior. He's been our backup quarterback, throws the ball very well. So we're kind of at 2 guys right now, with Goodman being the guy to start with.
Southeast got back over 500 last season, finishing with a 5-4 record. The Lancers have been hard at work in the weight room this summer, which is especially important for this year's group. It's a young team with a small senior class, and the underclassmen are going to need to step up.
Again, the seniors, we don't have a lot of them, but they are showing leadership. I mean, they really care about each other, and they talk to each other online, and it's good stuff. I mean, and they help each other out. We got some young freshmen and sophomores that's going to have to play because of numbers for some of it. But, yeah, they're stepping up. They spend a lot of time in the weight room, and they'll be all right.
As for the Fort Scott Tigers, they're looking to rebound after a 1-8 record last season. The Tigers were a young team in 2021, and they still are, but they do return a handful of guys with game day experience, especially on offense.
We got depth at the offensive line position and our running backs position. You know, we go as our offensive line goes. Those guys are learning about each other. You know, they're trusting each other more, and we need them to step up and have a big year for us.
The Kansas City Chiefs hit the field today for their second of 3 preseason games. The Chiefs get to play at Arrowhead today, their first home game since January. Kansas City hosts Washington, and the Chiefs hang on to win 24-14. Patrick Mahomes saw some more time today. He went 12 for 19 for 162 yards and 2 scores, both those touchdowns to Jody Fortson. On defense, the Chiefs had a pick, and George Karlaftis had a sack for the second straight game. In the MLB, the Royals are in the middle of a 4-game set with Tampa Bay. The Rays take this one 5-2. Salvador Perez and Vinny Pasquantino drive in the runs for the Royals. They're back for the series finale tomorrow at 12:40. The Cards also play tonight at 7:10, so we'll have details on that at 10 p.m.
That's awesome. Chiefs continuing to roll this preseason. Well, the first team especially for sure. So really looking forward to them. All right, and coming up, we'll take a look at how some curious seal got into someone's home. Here's a look at what's coming up at the KOAM News at 10. We'll have a look at the Joplin Area Welcome Club fundraiser, plus an ever-growing migrant battle going on, and another update on the nuclear plants under attack in Ukraine. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 10. In New Zealand, a baby fur seal broke into a marine biologist's home. The seal managed to get into the house through one of the cat doors, the marine biologist said. According to marine biologist Ross, the family cat seemingly provoked the animal. Ross said that his wife was able to encourage the seal out of the house and into the garden. She then called the Department of Conservation and was able to get the baby seal to a safe place.
Very good.
Man, that's
pretty cool.
That's something, man. All right, Sam, what do we have?
We've got some storms on radar right now across our area, so that's always good news as we need the rain desperately. But the rain is going to be going away by later on tonight and tomorrow. 86 partly cloudy skies. Another chance of storms Thursday, but that's mainly going to be to the north. And then next Saturday, a better chance of storms, especially late Saturday night into Sunday. But temperatures are going to be pretty near normal with highs in the 90s and lows in the 60s to around 70 degrees. At least we're not seeing 100. Can we be thankful for that?
Absolutely. Well, that's our time for now. Remember, we're always on KOAMNewsNow.com and with the KOAM News Now app. Thank you for tuning in and making us part of your night, and we hope you have a great one.